you could focus on one thing to do every single week as far as what you're eating, what should it be? So it was a very interesting study done. It was a twin study, so comparing genetics to nature, meaning, what you're doing with your body over and above the fact that genetically you're the same. And this was done several years ago. It was 11,000 sets of twins, which is a lot when you're talking about identical twins. But basically, this is the foundation for the work of Dr. Will Bulsiewicz, and his mentor, let me get the name right, Dr. Tim Spector, did the work. So there was an American gut project and a British gut project. So Dr. Spector is British, so he worked with Americans, and they did this robust study in both nations and found something very interesting. And so if you want to prevent obesity, you want to prevent diabetes, and just overall really diminish your risk of degenerative diseases, the diseases that are killing us, you want to have 30 servings of plants every week. Now, what are plants? They are fruits, they are vegetables, and they're nuts and seeds. And then they said some herbs, but you're not eating a ton of herbs. So fruits, vegetables, and nuts and seeds. And if you want to know what a serving is, or a serving size, that's easy to look online and see. Like half a cup of blueberries is a serving, an apple's a serving. When it comes to leafy vegetables, so a cup of broccoli is a serving, but when it's leafy greens like lettuce, then it's a full cup. So, you can find this out for yourself, but it all had to do with the diversity. So why 30 of them? And this would be a good little project for you to do, is every time you eat, see kind of where your diversity has been. And unfortunately, a lot of us have a favorite vegetable, a favorite fruit. Maybe we don't even eat too many nuts and seeds. And so our diversity of our gut microbiome, which is it goes back and forth between 30 some odd trillion to 100 trillion. Dr. Spector recently said 100 trillion. I'm like, okay, we're back up to 100. Suffice to say, it's a lot of microorganisms in your gut making up your microbiome, and you want them to be very diverse. You want a lot of different ones, so that that is very reflective of your health protection. They're anti-inflammatory and just do all the wonderful things you want them to do to maintain the best of health. And he said something very interesting. He said that once you've achieved that 30, like that's your foundation, that it didn't so much matter what else you did. Now, don't go crazy and live on sugar, because that's still the devil, and that's going to mess up your microbiome faster than anything. But he tends to be very plant forward, as does Dr. Will Bulsiewicz. But he was saying, you have a steak, you have some eggs, you have some fish, that wasn't as impactful when you had that nice foundation. And I think that's a really good place to start, is to look at that. So first of all, I make a joke now about how many plant points are in my meal in any given evening, and I don't know, I think the highest was like 12 with a big salad, etc., etc. But yeah, you can really boost those plant points, as we call them, and your plant diversity, and that's what it's all about. So 30 different during the course of a week. So it doesn't mean you can't replicate some of the great ones like the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts, etc., but you want that diversity. So play that game, see where you are currently, and then make the game to increase it for you and your family. Great first step. And if you need any help getting to the root cause of any issues that have been troubling you, that's what we're here for. So reach out. I hope you found this video helpful. If you want more on this topic and others, click here.